Have you ever craved spring rolls? Not small chops, so just spring rolls, especially homemade spring rolls. And guess what? You can make it yourself.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Oh, sorry, my sister's channel. Ada is a Kwelu channel, and today we're making spring rolls. Now we went to the market and got some of this stuff here. We got carrots, cabbage, spring onions, chicken, flour. You can get onions if you want, but that's optional. Write how you guys make yours in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the like button. Ciao, y'all.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I decided to take you guys along to see where I got my vegetables. Colorful, isn't it? So for this small chops, I'm going to be making baked spring rolls. I'm baking it to reduce the oil, to reduce my oil intake. So first of all, I have chicken. This chicken is going to be seasoned, boiled, and fillet. You are going to remove the meat from the bone. Then I also have spring onions going to be washed and chopped. Then the carrots, you ensure you scrape off the dirt. Then I'm going to shred some and chop some. Then I also shred my cabbage. I also have my all-purpose flour, and ensure you use a non-stick pan for this. Now let's get right into it. So guys, I'm done with the vegetables. This is the cabbage I used. I shredded it properly. As you can see, you have to shred your cabbage properly. Then as for the carrot, there are two ways of preparing the carrots. Either you shred it with a grater. For this cabbage, I used this grater to shred it to this consistency, to this way. It's better and is lighter when you use it for the small chops. It's very light compared to when it's chopped. As you can see, it's very light. Then, but if you chop it, if you prefer chopping it, this is how it's going to be. The disadvantage of this chopped one is that at times it gets a bit bulky and it can tear the wrap. So I also added some spring onions. Since I'm not using onions for this recipe, I just added some spring onions and the chicken. Yeah, I just chopped the chicken. I didn't really mince the chicken. I just chopped them into really tiny bits. So the next step after the vegetables is to mix the dough for the spring roll wrap. So this is all-purpose flour, but because I'll be mixing it, so I'm going to be using this bowl. For this recipe, you're supposed to mix your flour with a little bit of sugar and salt. But I'm making this for my mom, and if I've not said it earlier, I'm going to be baking the spring rolls. I'm not going to be frying it because I'm making it for my mom, and she said she doesn't want it fried. She wants it baked to reduce oil. You know, she's watching her weight and everything. So I just added a little bit of salt, and it has been mixed properly. So first of all, you ensure you wash your hands. I've already washed mine, and I'm just going to take a bit of water and add to the dough, to the flour. So you keep mixing it. You don't have to add warm water, just any like clean water will do. So I've showed you guys how I mixed it, and you just have to turn the dough properly to a dropping consistency. It's not supposed to be too thick, neither is it supposed to be watery. Anyway, if you make a mistake, if it's too thick or it's too watery, you can always correct it. If it's too thick, you can add more water. If it's too watery, you can add more flour. So when making this wrap, this spring roll wrap, you have to use a non-stick pan. It's very important to use a non-stick pan, because if you use a regular pan, while frying it, I'm going to show you how I do that. It might not come off easily, but a non-stick pan will peel off easily. So just ensure your consistency is good, and don't be scared. You can always correct it. So at this point, I'm sauteing the vegetables. You have to saute the vegetables, any vegetable of your choice. I actually forgot to add the cabbage. Well, so as you can see, it looks a bit dry, but I decided to use little oil because I'm trying to reduce oil intake by, baking it instead of frying. I added a bit of the meat stock to just make it a bit moist. And while frying, even if you are frying, not baking like me, you have to ensure you don't use too much oil, because if you use too much oil, then your spring roll wrap is going to be very wet and you won't like the outcome. So at this point, I'm showing you guys how to wrap your spring roll. I made mine a bit thick because I knew I was going to bake it. So basically, I cut the edges so it will be a bit finer. Then you just take the filling, put the filling in, and wrap it properly. You see, if you look closely, you see that it got to a stage I used the binder to bind the edges. I folded it in and used the binder to bind this properly. The binder is basically the dough used in making the wrap. While making the wrap, don't exhaust your dough, just leave a little bit to serve as a binder. For the fact I'm baking it, binding doesn't really matter, but if you are frying it, which normally you fry your spring rolls, if you are frying it and you don't bind this properly, then all the vegetables it's going to pour into the oil, and you obviously don't want that. So just ensure you bind this properly. Look at how I'm doing this, look closely, and I'm sure you're going to pick it up. It's quite easy. So just bind it. If you use a lot of people use smaller wraps, you can use smaller wraps. If you want, you can use bigger wraps. That's why it's homemade. You make it to your choice how you want it. So at the background, my mom, my sister, everybody, like, well, three at the background making these wraps. I just didn't show everybody. Yeah, we're making the wraps so to be faster, because everybody at home just couldn't wait to eat it. So we're at the back making the rest. You guys will see the finished tray.
So guys, this is the concluding part of this video. This is the finished look, or the end of the video. So this is the final product of the spring rolls, and I'm sure you might be wondering how come it's so glossy. Yes, I glazed it. When you are baking, you glaze it, whatever you are baking, so that it will look really nice and give it this golden brown color. Normally spring roll is fried, but as I said earlier in the video, I'm making it for my mom and for all of us, and I'm trying to cut down on oil, so we decided to bake it instead, and it tastes just the same but with less oil. So to glaze your spring rolls, you can glaze it with egg or milk. That's the very popular way of glazing, and it comes out perfectly fine. So you can also drink it with any drink of your choice, whatever that suits your fancy. So guys, thanks for watching. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want more videos like this, please leave it in the comment section and do subscribe. Bye.